All right, Cowboys Nation, welcome back to Dallas Insider, where passion meets power and where we talk about every move that could change the course of this team's destiny. Today, we're diving deep into one of the hottest rumors circling the NFL right now. And yes, it's about our Dallas Cowboys possibly making a bold, fearless move to bring in a proven game changer to the defense. I'm talking about none other than Trey Hendrickson, the Cincinnati Bengals star who led the entire league in sacks last season. Now, let's be honest. Ever since Dallas traded away Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, the defense has looked, well, human. The pass rush that used to terrorize quarterbacks and swing games in our favor hasn't felt the same. We've seen flashes, we've seen effort, but not that consistent, relentless fire that defined this defense during its best years. The Cowboys started the season with that as their biggest weakness, and everyone noticed. But here's where things get interesting. Enter James Houston, the offseason pickup who has quietly turned into one of the most unexpected bright spots on this roster. Houston has been making plays, generating pressure, and leading the team with 3.5 sacks, more than Micah Parsons has recorded so far in Green Bay. You heard that right. The man Dallas traded away is being outperformed by someone the Cowboys brought in off the radar. That's the kind of underdog story every fan loves. Still, as solid as Houston's been, the experts agree this team needs one more piece, one more true disruptor, one more alpha on that defensive line. And that's why analysts from multiple outlets, including Bleacher Report, are connecting the dots between Dallas and Trey Hendrickson. Let's talk about Hendrickson for a moment. This guy isn't just good, he's dominant. Over the last 2 seasons, he's racked up 35 sacks, putting him right up there with the very best pass rushers in football. He's explosive off the line, plays with incredible leverage, and has that motor that never shuts off. He's the kind of player that makes offensive tackles sweat before the game even starts. And when he gets rolling, quarterbacks start feeling that pressure before the snap. Now, the timing of all this is what makes it really intriguing. The Cincinnati Bengals are in a strange position. Their superstar quarterback, Joe Burrow, has been battling injuries that could derail their season. If Cincinnati slips below .500 before the trade deadline, the front office might decide it's time to think long-term, and that could open the door for Dallas to swoop in. According to reports, the Bengals were originally asking for a 2026 first-round pick and a young defensive player for Hendrickson back in August. But that was before the injury, before the frustration, and before the season started to turn. Now, with uncertainty hanging over Cincinnati, the price might drop. Analysts believe a conditional second-round pick could be enough to get it done. And if that's the case, it's the kind of move that would be impossible to pass up. Because here's the truth, Cowboys fans. Trey Hendrickson isn't just another piece. He's the kind of addition that changes the entire DNA of a defense. Imagine him lining up opposite Justin Houston, with Kenny Clark wrecking things in the middle. That's a front that can dominate, that can finish games, that can set the tone for the entire team. That's how you win in December. That's how you survive January. That's how you build a championship run. Let's remember, head coach Brian Schottenheimer has been preaching balance since day one. He doesn't just want a team that can score. He wants a team that can control the line of scrimmage. He wants a defense that can hunt. A player like Hendrickson fits that vision perfectly. He's not a flashy guy, not a headline chaser. He's a grinder, a blue-collar worker who gets results. And that mentality would resonate deeply in this locker room. You can feel the difference this year, too. This isn't the same Cowboys culture we've seen in the past. There's accountability, there's unity, there's hunger. The veterans are setting the tone and the young guys are buying in. The chemistry between Dak Prescott and Schottenheimer is growing every week. Dak is playing some of his best football in years, managing games with poise and purpose. The offense is balanced, the line is healthier, and even without big names like Parsons or CD Lamb on the field right now, the Cowboys have been competing with heart. So let's put the pieces together. Dallas has the cap room, the draft capital, and the momentum to make a move. The defense has improved each week, but there's still one glaring hole: the need for that consistent pass-rushing threat who can finish plays and force mistakes. Trey Hendrickson checks every box. And if we're being honest, this is the kind of deal Jerry Jones loves to make. It's bold, it's aggressive, and it sends a message. The Dallas Cowboys are not waiting around. They're coming for it. Remember what happened the last time Dallas took a risk on a veteran pass rusher? Think about how much of a difference DeMarcus Lawrence made when he was in his prime. Think about how Parsons once transformed the defense when he first arrived. That's what Hendrickson could bring: leadership, production, and swagger. There's also a psychological edge to this move. If the Cowboys pull it off, they immediately remind the league that they're still dangerous, that even after losing one of their biggest stars, they're not backing down. The NFC is wide open this season. The Eagles look beatable. The 49ers are struggling with injuries. The Packers are inconsistent. If there's ever a time for Dallas to make a push, it's right now. Adding Hendrickson could also unlock the potential of other defenders. With more pressure up front, the secondary can take more risks. Corners can jump routes, safeties can play faster, linebackers can stay in their lanes instead of overcommitting. That ripple effect changes everything. Now let's talk numbers. Trey Hendrickson's production speaks for itself. 17 sacks last year, 18 the year before, and dozens of quarterback hits. He's been one of the most disruptive forces in the AFC. And while he had a brief holdout this past summer, he came back focused, healthy, and ready to prove his worth. He's under contract through 2025, which means this wouldn't be a rental. It would be a move that strengthens Dallas for multiple seasons. There's also the fan perspective. Cowboys Nation has been begging for this kind of aggression from the front office. Fans don't want excuses. They want to see urgency. They want to see Jerry and Stephen Jones make a move that shows belief in this team's potential. And this trade would do exactly that. It would tell the locker room that ownership is serious about chasing a title. The Cowboys are entering a favorable stretch in their schedule. With winnable games in October and November, a strong run could set them up perfectly for a postseason push. But to make that push count, the defense needs to stay consistent. And consistency starts with the pass rush. If Hendrickson joins this team, everything changes. You'll see quarterbacks rushing throws, offensive coordinators adjusting game plans, and a Dallas defense that looks intimidating again. Combine that with an offense that's hitting its stride under Schottenheimer, and you've got something special. So, Cowboys Nation, here's the big question. Do you pull the trigger? Do you give up that conditional second-round pick to bring in Trey Hendrickson and solidify this defense for the rest of the season and beyond? Because make no mistake, this is the kind of move that separates the good teams from the great ones. For me, the answer is yes. You make that call. You go get them, because this team is right on the edge of greatness, and adding a player like Hendrickson could be the final piece of the puzzle. Cowboys Nation, I want to hear your thoughts. Would you trade for Trey Hendrickson? Do you think he's the missing link to bring the pass rush back to dominance? Drop your opinions in the comments and let's get this conversation rolling. And don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe to Dallas Insider for every breaking update, every rumor, and every inside look at your Dallas Cowboys. Because this team isn't done. They're building something. And if Hendrickson ends up wearing that star on his helmet, the league better be ready, because the Dallas Cowboys are coming.